So firstly, what is a homophone? Well, homophones are two or more words that have the same pronunciation but different meanings. So what are some examples of homophones? The most commonly used ones in the English language are there and there, your and your, we're and where, and two and two. So if all of these words sound the same, how do you know which one to use? Well, it comes down to their spelling and their meanings. Let's start with there, and there. So there, spelt with ERE on the end, it can be used to show where or what something is. There, spelt EIR, can be used to show belonging, so if something belongs to someone. It can be used to refer to one person or thing, or a group of them. And then there, spelt with EY''RE, is the contraction of they are. So here's a quick practice for you. There's 3 sentences below and they're all missing a word, which is one of the homophones of there. See if you can work out which there would go with each sentence. They're in the corner for you to help you, so pause the video and see how many you can get. Okay, the answers are now on the board. Let's see how many you got right. So the answer to the first one was that the teacher was going to mark their work after school, with their being spelt THEIR. The answer to the second one, they're going to make costumes for the school play. The correct there was spelt THEY''RE. And the final one is by the time she'd finished her lunch, there wasn't much time left to play. That there being spelt THERE. And the next most common homophone within the English language is where, we're, and were. So these ones sound slightly more different than the first one we did, which are almost identical in their sounds, but they're still considered homophones because there's very, very few differences in how you pronounce them. So the first one, where, is used to show the location of something. The second one, were, is the past tense of the verb to be. And then we're is the contraction of we are. Okay, so here is 3 more questions for you to practice using homophones, this time for where, were, and we're. So pause this video and see how many you can get. So the answers to those last 3 questions were, the first one, after French, we're going to do English, was WE''RE. The second one, in geography, they learned where Malaysia is, with where being spelt WHERE. And then the third one, were you involved in the fight at lunch? Asked the teacher. WERE. How many did you get right? Leave a comment below. And now moving on to what, in my opinion, is the trickiest set of homophones, which is two, and two, because they literally sound exactly the same. So it's not really that surprising that people get these ones mixed up. So two spelt with 2 O's means extremely. It's an adjective. Two with only 1 O is a verb, and it shows where someone is going. And then the other type of 2 is literally the written form of the number 2. So the final one with the W isn't quite so confusing, but 2 with 2 O's and 2 with 1 O, people often get confused. So here's a chance for you to practice using 2 in sentences. So here's 3 below. Pause the video and see how many you get like before. Okay, the answers are now on the screen. So the first one, Thomas hated maths because he found it too boring. That's 2 with 2 O's. The second one, I need 2 children to take this to the office, please, said the teacher. TWO, because it's the number 2. And the third one, on the school trip they went to the zoo. It's TO, because they're showing where someone went. But what if there's only 2 similar words, not 3? Is that still a homophone? Well, the answer is yes, it is. And there's actually even more homophones only made up of 2 words than there is of 3. Firstly, there's your and your. So your, spelt Y-O-U-R, shows possession or something that belongs to someone, whereas your, spelt Y-O-U''R-E, is the contraction of you are. You also have which and which. The first which being spelt W-H-I-C-H. This is the more commonly found one in English. So this is used in the context of this or that and is related to decisions. Then the second type of which, W-I-T-C-H, is a fantasy character that people often dress up as on Halloween. And finally, before some more questions for you, we have new and new. So new with a K shows what someone does or doesn't know, whereas new without the K is the opposite of old. It's an adjective that could refer to something that's recently been bought, so perhaps a new coat. So if you pause this video again, we've got a final set of questions for you before the end of the video. So see if you can work out which of the homophones goes in each of these gaps. So this is using both yours, both whiches, and both news. So to run through your answers for this one, number 1, Lucy decided she was going to dress up as a witch for Halloween, which spelt W-I-T-C-H. Second one, can I see your answer to question 3, your being spelt Y-O-U-R. The next one being the other your, so you're very clever, praise Charlie, spelt Y-O-U''R-E. Then we have one of the news. When she went shopping, her mum bought her a new coat, N-E-W. He struggled to decide which takeaway to order for dinner, that which being spelled W-H-I-C-H. And then finally, I knew that, shouted the annoying kid in the class, with that new being K-N-E-W. There are so many more homophones than just these within the English language, but this video should have given you sort of an overview of the basics and the most commonly used ones within the language. But leave a comment if you learnt something new, or if you know any more homophones, or even if you just want to say how many of the practice questions you got correct, because I'd be really curious to see. Thank you for watching.